All right, I want to talk about this while it's fresh on my mind. Maybe I'll get my headphones because we're gonna go around some people. I'm in Rome right now, and so I wanted to show you the Trevi Fountain because I'm right by it, and it's really pretty. But we're gonna be talking about psychological stuff. This idea, let me put my headphones on, that a person, we reap what we sow. And so that, if you enter that mystically, that verse, that teaching is way different than just like, oh, if you punch someone, you're gonna get punched around the corner. You know what I mean? It's not like that. Let me turn this around so you guys can see. I try not to get people that, well, there weren't kids in that, but people that don't want to be in it. Okay, so it's more like this. It's more like what I've been contemplating and seeing so much. You know, because I've had some time by myself here. It's just, if you operate where you see people like furniture, or you see people like a cigarette to smoke, or like a glass of wine to drink, you know. Even, okay, so how we do that? How we do that is like, what happens is you build a mindset. This is what happens, is you build a mindset where that's how you start to operate. And why wouldn't you start seeing yourself that same way? If you see other people that way, then you are just an object for your egotism. I hope I went the right way. I feel like I hear the fountain. Oh yeah, it's past this angel. Look, I'll show you the angel. We'll approach it together. The angel's like around the corner. Oh, look at the sunlight coming. All right, prepare to be amazed. There you go. There's a lot of people here today. I was just meditating here for about an hour. And the angel's up top. Try to get it steady. All right, let's go back to somewhere quiet. Look at all the people. It's a summer day in Rome. Okay. So I think I'll walk back to where I was. It was quiet there. It's pretty quiet here. Okay, so I want you to see, maybe you can see it behind me then. I'll just come over here to this shop that's not open. The pharmacy's closed today because it's a Sunday. All right. Oh, there's the sun, of course, right? It's always right behind me, backing me up. Okay, and so when you operate this way, now we don't even realize it. That's why I'm talking about it. These things seem really obvious, right? We've got this beautiful background. I'm kidding. I'm just going to get to the point really quick, and then maybe I'll show you more of the fountain. But oh, look at the view from here. It's so cool. I'll just show that to you while I'm talking. So when we operate in that capacity where we approach people and don't realize that we're just reducing them to, making us feel good in the moment, or boosting up our ego, or adding to our bank account, or we're objectifying people all the time. People are doing this without knowing. And so what happens is, there's a person straight in front of you. So I've had two different experiences. I'm just going to use the examples that I got while I was here in Italy. I've had two different experiences of people treating me in this way. I mean, I didn't let them treat me in that way, but operating in that capacity. And then one person operating in a completely different capacity, like my friend that I had the interview with, right? I won't say his name because I mean, he only gave me permission for that one interview. If you want to look at Healing the Masculine, look up Dr. Cheryl Meyer and Healing the Masculine. It's a great interview. But so that person, that friend of mine, is just super present, and we have no agenda. We're just skating or whatever, hanging out, being. You're really appreciating. You're taking the time to appreciate the other person's company and appreciate them as a human being, not as, hey, did you bring me food? Did you bring me a drink? Can you do this for me? Are you this for me? Are you that for me? Can you be this for me? Oh, you're making me feel less than, or you're making me feel better than. It's just like, just be you. Just be. Practice being. Now, you don't have to do, and I'm not saying this as advice. I'm saying let's look at the difference, right? And then other people who have their own objective or end that they want, and they're missing being with the person right in front of them. Like, they have magic in front of them. The magic of a real human live being, intelligent, soulful human being in front of you, but when you're so set on achieving some certain result that you think is going to bring you happiness, you're missing the happiness that's right here, okay? And so I'm talking in euphemisms, but don't worry, like, everything was kosher with me, because I'm just like, what, whatever. I'm not interested in you, and whatever. But what I wanted to share, right? Not to get too personal, but what I wanted to share about the concept, right, is that when we're operating that way, it's like you keep practicing operating in a way that's objectifying people, and you keep missing the most beautiful thing that's in the moment. It's like there's a phrase, and it's by Anonymous, right? But it's like something Rumi would say. It's like, stop chasing what your mind wants, and you'll get what your soul needs. You are a soul, and we do this different ways, right? That's why there's no judgment on how, if people want to operate that way. I'm not saying it's beneficial or will bring more love into their lives. It will not. I can say that, but I don't judge anybody. We all have to keep, going back and wallowing in the mud until we learn. And so we can do that. Any of us can do that when we're identified with our mind stream, our thought stream. Like, oh, I'm what I'm wearing. Oh, I don't like what I'm wearing. Blah 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 blah. And then, or I am what's in my bank account. I don't like what's in my bank account. I don't know. I need more in my bank account. And so when we start thinking we are that identity, right? I'll try to get the fountain again. When we think we are that, then we're objectifying our very selves as well. And we can be addicted to that mind stream pattern. I can't see what's on it because my phone dimmed. I literally can't see if I'm just showing you a raw here. Okay, and so this is how we reap what we sow, is if we keep throwing the seeds of seeing people like you would see, a piece of chicken on the plate. I think I did a video about that. Then you're going to start experiencing life that way. You're going to experience that God is that way towards you, divine love is that way towards you. You're going to experience other people being that way towards you. You're going to imagine that other people are that way towards you, even if they aren't that way towards you. That they always have an objective, that they're trying to use you when they're not trying to use you, because you don't know what it is to not use someone, because you're used to having an objective like that. And so, let me think how else to say it. It's like, okay, and so what if right now, like I'm in the middle of this beauty, right? What if the present moment is so full of richness? Like being present. God said in the Psalms, I think it was Psalm 118 somewhere, be still and know that I am God. Be still. Be in the stillness and know. Then you can have a knowing of the nature of God. God is love. And so when you're in the stillness, no matter how crowded or busy it is around you, when you I'm going to sit back down here. When you choose to be in the stillness, then you get to know. It's kind of like so I'll just give this example. Someone kept asking for my phone number. I'm like, no, I don't think I'm going to give you my phone number, right? And I ended up not, thank God, But it was like, I won't like throw the person under the bus, but all this other stuff, minor stuff, transpired because I was just looking at the pattern, But it was like, how can you be behaving this way towards a person and then still thinking that they would want you to be in their lives, like want to give you our phone number or something like that? I'm just using this as an example. I'm trying to think how to put this for you guys. I was just noticing for us, right? And so I was noticing, welcome to my channel. If you haven't liked this video, make sure to like it. and write comments and stuff. If you'd like to, I'd appreciate it, because I'm not looking at you like an object. I'm just saying that's how YouTube knows to put these videos out. And other people know to watch it. But so welcome regardless, right? Just welcome. One thing to help remind you how to get out of that mindset, because once we notice that we're in it and we're just addicted to thought patterns and addicted to our own narrative that's going in our head, oh, I did these good things today. People can be like that too and addicted to that and just see themselves again as a good religious object, or as bad, or as, I'm good because I'm more rebellious than other people, or I'm good because of this, that, and the other thing, right? It's like, just learn how to be present with divine love. Feel yourself in your body. The one way that Eckhart Tolle and them said is like, if you, how can you know where your hand is? If you don't touch your hand, feel yourself in your body. Like, feel where your right hand is. If you put it up in the air, right? Feel your right hand without touching it. Like, feel yourself inside your body, your inner body, right? And take a deep breath. And know yourself as a being, as more than your problems, more than how other people have defined you, more than your name, back to the essence of you, your isness. It's like coming home, okay? And so if you come home to your own self and you start living more from this deep place, right? Like I always say, that's why I wear this, to remind myself to drop down from my head into my heart. as you keep learning how to do this more and more, you'll find that when you're with other people, you don't have an agenda, you're just present. And you're present with the world. You see what shows up, and you don't keep getting angry, I was going to say pissed off. It's like you don't keep, that's a clinical term, right? You don't keep getting pissed off when the world doesn't go exactly as you thought it should go. A should is an expectation. I have a video on the top of my Instagram on shoulds. But shoulds are based on shame, and shame fuels addictions. And so when you keep having these shoulds, I'll just say a guy last night was talking to me. He's like, but I think you ought to look at this from my perspective. I'm like, no, I don't think so. I was like, I don't need to, dude. Like, I really like understanding where other people are, but I'd already gone through this conversation, and I'm like, this is not mine to convince you of everything, and or of anything, and this is not yours to convince me. I have standards and boundaries and whatever, and so it's kind of like that. It's like, it's so cool, you guys. It's not like just trying to be religious. It's like learning what real love is and valuing yourself on a higher level than you ever did before, than you ever knew you were worth, and choosing to stay in that. And even whether it's at your work or with your friends, setting boundaries. If your friends keep flaking on you, and then it's like, why do you keep making plans with them? Why do you keep reaching out? Now, always be loving, ABL. Always be loving. But that's not loving, to keep letting someone take advantage of you and just excusing them, right? How's that love, right? We can forgive people and not hold their debts, not be waiting for scraps from them. But I was just noticing, so it's like, the more you learn how to live in your being self and enjoy your own company and enjoy being you and you just start enjoying other people's being, and they will gravitate towards you, and there's something unique and special about you because people don't take time to do that, They think, oh, a nice person always has, and I'm not talking about being nice, pleasing people. That's different. Pleasing people to try to get them to like you. I know that cycle. That's all about your egotism too, and you're identified with trying to get your identity from pleasing that other person. That's not what I'm talking about. This is like, and I was always trying to teach my kids, like, be kind, not nice. It's not about pleasing. It's about being thoughtful, being respectful, being kind. And, one of the ways to do that is to let go of this agenda that you think you have. It's like, if I think that,
All their parents all talk on the phone at the same time and make it super hectic.
Now, I understand. It's like, if you buy a ticket to the movie theater, then you have this idea that a movie will be played. Now, sometimes I've been there when the theater, the projector room broke down or whatever, and they had to make other plans. It's just like, but when you're interacting with a human being, it's like, this is a multi-dimensional soul that's made in the image and likeness of God. That's what you are. That's what the other person is. We are changing every day. The more you get in presence, in depth, connected with divine love, connected with God, taking time out to be with God, you're getting to know the infinite beingness of God. And that knowledge and experience of that love changes you every day. You're a new person, right? That's why anything new can happen. Miracles can happen because you're participating in the miracle of having an intimate relationship with divine love, right? And so as you do that, and as you take time to do that, as much as it's boring sometimes, it will seem like, why isn't God giving me what I want? I have this agenda. We were reading this morning, they read about Rachel and Leah and Jacob had to work 7 years to marry Rachel, to pay her dowry from the father, Laban. And then Laban tricked him, but Jacob tricked his brother out of his birthright. But go see, that's a reap what you sow, right? But he said the 7 years, I was just contemplating on this. He said the 7 years were like nothing to him because he just loved Rachel so much, right? And so I was reflecting on that. If we could just be in love with the first commandment is love the Lord your God with all your heart, soul, mind, and strength. Then love your neighbor as yourself, right? As yourself. That other person is yourself. If you're objectifying them and saying, you need to be here only for my pleasure, you know what I mean? It's like, then you're going to be treating yourself like that. And that's like, oh my gosh, I could throw up right now. Just because it's, I understand it from like afar, like some part of my past. But it's like, you're worth so much more than just like a scoop of ice cream. You know what I mean? You're more than a scoop, You're like a rose that evolves over thousands of years. There's 2,000-year-old olive trees in the Mount of Olives and around there in Israel that were there at the time of Christ. And so it's like, hey, how are you? Good. I'm making a video, but I'm almost done. No, sit down. It's fine. And so it's like that. Here's my friend, yeah? So it's like that. It's like just keep letting yourself evolve and be present with who you are, and you're going to experience life on a much richer, deeper level. All right. Much love. I hope you got it. Make sure to comment if you did. All right. Much love.